I don't know what a cisgender is, but whatever it is, it shouldn't be allowed in front of children. Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. I still remember way back when he tweeted this the very first time. It proves a lot, but the forefront thing that it proves is that none of these people are capable of doing any kind of research before they go spouting every single time. Special thank you to my patrons and YouTube members for supporting my channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. We are returning once again to r/AccidentalAlly because you guys seem to love this content and I enjoy making it, so it's a win-win for me. We're gonna look at more people that just don't understand the things that they talk about regularly, often, and they embarrass themselves a lot. Let's get into it. I am not a cis woman. I am not a biological woman. I am simply a woman. How is this message supposed to be construed other than your biology and birth are less important than your identification? That's the only way this can come across. Obviously, she's trying to make this mean the opposite, right? But she's saying, I'm not a biological woman. I'm not a cis woman. I'm just a woman. So what you're saying is that trans women are women, because they're also not cis women. They're just women. Congratulations. You support trans rights. Gender identity is a religion in which each person worships themselves, or rather, their fantasy of themselves. They are their own god, and thus can create themselves in their own image. They can manipulate their reality and others' perception of them. Where's the bad thing in this statement? I'm struggling to find anything bad about what they've said. People worship themselves, okay? So people have an appreciation of their own worth and their own value. They are their own gods, thus they can create themselves in their own image. These are all really great things. They can manipulate their reality and others' perception of them. Yeah, so does everybody. When you get a haircut, you change people's perception of you. When you dress differently, you change people's perception of you. When you put on makeup, whether you drive a BMW, a Mercedes, or a Ford Focus, everything you do changes people's perception of you. Acting like that's a bad thing is meaningless because it is all around us and it does not affect you in any way. You look at probably hundreds, if not thousands of people every single day when you go outside, and you remember at most one or two of them because it doesn't matter. It really does not matter what your perception of someone else is, because they don't care how you see them, and at the end of the day, you don't care how you see them. If you see a bulge in a conservative woman's pants, it's a gun. If you see a bulge in a liberal woman's pants, it's a penis. This one's a weird one because Blair White is kind of transphobic, maybe not kind of, but pretty transphobic, but also is a trans woman. She's a conservative who supports conservative views and tweets a lot of posts like this, but is also trans. So she's acknowledging that trans women are women here by calling them women. It's a confusing one because Blair White is a confusing person because she actively supports the party that denounces her existence and treats her subhuman. I just don't understand it. It's just a confusing one to me. Dating in 2022 be like, I hope I didn't get him pregnant. This is actually kind of just a wholesome one to me, right? Because this is a depiction of two normal people in a relationship that can happen. And in fact, this scenario has happened. Obviously, they're trying to be like, oh, this is a bad thing. But like, if a trans woman and a trans man are together, then this is something that can happen and that's normal. And I want to point out this because I've forgotten what the two people are called. I looked this up earlier. I had their names in their head. I think one of them is called Nino. Anyway, yeah, my boyfriend gave birth and he didn't know he was pregnant. This is a trans man with a trans woman and they had a child together. And that's awesome. That's amazing. So, I don't know. I've just come out of after reading the posts and how it was supposed to be bad and then doing some research, I came out in a better mood than when I went in because something really cool came out of it, and that's wholesome. I don't agree with having their healthcare removed, but don't want them to serve in my Marine Corps. Sorry about that. On the other hand, they shouldn't be denied an education, but they should use their own sex's bathroom. Okay, so first of all, how does someone being trans affect how well they may or may not do in the military? Second, do you really want a trans guy who's been on T for several years using the women's bathroom? Trans veteran here. Which bathroom should I use? The man's. I'm a Vietnam veteran who respects you for serving, but I'm also old-fashioned. They're just proving their point, bro. You're disproving your point. You're proving theirs. Doesn't this prove that trans people are valid? That he couldn't tell that they were trans? That is the whole point. And also, why shouldn't trans people be in the Marines? Men are allowed in the Marines and women are allowed in the Marines. Why does them being a trans man or a trans woman make any difference? Luke Pollard, Plymouth's first openly gay MP, with Dylan Tippett, the city's first openly trans councillor. They're two men. Yeah, it confuses me how people are so bad at identifying trans people, okay? Like, if you just look at a trans person who says they are trans, and they are openly trans, and they look very gendered. Like, say you look at a trans man, and you're unsure about what trans man or trans woman means. And you look at a trans man, and they are really masculine. That means they are a female to male trans man because they want to look masculine. They are changing their appearance to look masculine. If they were a trans woman and was identifying as a woman, why would they be putting effort in to look masculine? It's not a hard concept. When someone says they're trans and you look at them and they look really gendered, figure it out. I don't understand how so many people struggle to grasp that concept. It's so easy. It is so incredibly easy. All of human history. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. 2022, girls have a penis, boys have a vagina. 2050, what are these boys and girls you speak of? Now, obviously it's not a surprise to say that Steven Crowder has done no research into human history and doesn't know what he's talking about, because it's Steven Crowder and that's like his entire MO. But not only trans, but non-binary and additional genders have existed throughout all of human history, right? There are recordings of trans people dating back as far as ancient Egypt and ancient Greece, and they were revered as holy people. We're going back thousands of years. In Native American culture, before colonialism invaded, you had additional genders. You had like 3 to 5 genders total, depending on the tribe. You had a lot of additional genders. In Hawaii, in so many places, in New Zealand, just so many, so many cultures throughout human history have had additional genders and have had transgenders. And in a lot of them, they've had very important roles in the cultures. And they've always existed until colonialism, when all of these histories were wiped out. When you look at the genocides against Native Americans and Native Hawaiians and Native Australians and Native New Zealanders that have gone on throughout history, and all of their cultures being completely wiped out. That's why they're not common in the modern day as they were back then, or culturally common, I should say, because they're still pretty common, but they're not culturally known or culturally accepted because they were wiped out. But they have always been there. You just have to do 5 minutes of research to find the dozens of them, right? In fact, let me go. Let's have a quick Google, shall we? So we have Mesopotamia, we have Egypt, we have Indic culture, Mediterranean culture, Arabia, Israel, the Americas, Inuits, and that's not going into the specifics of each of these, because there are many in each and every one of these. The Americas is a broad statement, you know? You have the Incans, you have the indigenous North Americans. All of those had broad amounts. In fact, I just realized that clicking on this, it took me halfway down the list. So you also have Africa, Asia Pacific, European, Latin America, and the Caribbean. These are the ones I was looking for. The most known ones are probably Polynesia. I'm gonna absolutely brutally ruin the pronunciation of this, I'm sure. The Fa'afafine and the Fakuleti and the Mahu, like from Polynesia, Hawaii. You have some from Tahiti. There are some from the Maori. Like, they are all over the world and have been historically for basically as long as humans have existed. And Steven Crowder's here like, all of human history, boys are boys and girls are girls. No, that's just fundamentally, objectively wrong. You could not speak to a single actual historian, say that statement, and not be immediately told you were wrong. It's just objectively an incorrect statement from the get-go. But it is Steven Crowder, so I'm not surprised. It's just really unfortunate that he has a really impressionable crowd of people that follow him that don't research a single thing he says. That's the unfortunate part. People act as if pronouns are normal and regularly accepted. They're not. Most of the country think they are stupid. Lord knows I do, and I won't use them. I see pronouns, I auto-assume they're batshit crazy. So ignoring the fact that they are using pronouns, you know, they used there, they used I, they used them, but are we really supposed to believe a correction on grammar from people that don't know the difference of there, and there? I see pronouns and I assume they're batshit crazy. They're batshit crazy what, sir? You used the wrong type of there. You're trying to correct people on using they, them as pronouns, and you don't even know how to use they, them correctly when you're not trying to use them as just non-binary pronouns, but you also just don't know what pronouns are. Every time I see posts like this, and the more of these posts I see, I am convinced more and more and more that there isn't a single one of these people out there that passed middle school level grammar. I mean, this is bordering on like infant school grammar. Kindergarten, I think it's called in America. It's embarrassing. It's really, really embarrassing. Trans men are not women. Trans women are not men. That's how God made us. Sheriff, you're a patriot and you agree. So what you're saying is that God made trans men men and trans women women? That's interesting. That is, it's a funny one, that. I'm not gonna tell him. I'm gonna let him keep making posts like this. America! Well, so if a trans man wants a woman, then that's gay because he's basically still a man. What? Wait, I'm confused about what he's trying to say here, because I don't think he knows what he's trying to say here. So he's obviously saying that a trans man is biologically male. Like, that's the incorrect statement he's making. But he's saying that if a trans man, who he believes is a man trans to a woman, so born male, AMAB, he's saying that if an AMAB wants a woman, then that's gay because he is still a man? But that's the definition of straight, is if a man and a woman, assuming that he's not saying that and that a trans man is an AFAB to a man, which is correct, then he's saying that's gay because he's still a man. But if he's still a man, then it's a man and a woman. I'm so confused about what they're trying to say, because they end it was because he's basically still a man, which invalidates this being that's gay, because by the definition of the statement, it's a man and a woman. I'm so confused. I need help. I need an adult. I need someone help. Someone tell me what he's trying to say. I can't figure it out. I'm so confused. Do you like teasing straight guys? No, I'm a gay man, so why would I want that? Just asking. Good luck with your surgery, though. Okay. Real polite, LMAO. You to realize you'll always be a male. LMAO, hold this L. They told you they are a gay man, and your response to that is, You'll always be a male. Hold this L. They told you they're a man, sir. I mean, it's unsurprising that he can't spell. You two realize is that is not grammar. That you are not speak grammar, sir. So I don't think it's very surprising that he's handing out W's thinking that they're L's, because he can't spell. I'm not sure he knows the difference. And the final post, and quite possibly one of the dumbest. You can't say you're a man if you weren't born with a pelvis. Changed my mind. What are skeletons? Who? What? My guy, everyone is born with a pelvis. It's a part of the human skeleton. I'm so don't. That's where I'm going to end it, everybody. That's where I'm going to end it. I hope you have enjoyed. If you want to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click that join button on the channel to support me. You can also click the thanks button. I think you can make one-time donations. I'm not entirely sure how that works. It's fairly new to my channel. Whew. Special thank you to Nix, Holly Miller, Kaorianne Mori, Chase Howard, Karen Duca, Top Shelf, L, Rennie, Dev Penny, Thomas Penny, Emily Potter. Wait, did I say Dev Penny there? Dev, Thomas Penny, Emily Potter, Greyhound, Maxine Lankow, Gravity Gaia, Kelly Bock, Lucky Socks, Carolyn, The Angry Potato, Sven Arctic Fox, Outcast Jupiter, Abel Eris Winchester, Poet Blanderson, Ghost Orchid, Charlie the Mad 256, Kate Cat, The Wings of Ruin, Conspiracy Cake, Two Lakes in a Valley, Ica Limchok, An Agent, Galaxy, Ronnie, and Tam for supporting the channel and supporting my content. Thank you so much, guys. And other than that, as usual, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.